I just got in this morning and I wanted to give you guys a sort of behind the scenes morning in the life kind of what I do every morning in order to run our print farm, and then wanted to give you guys some like tips and tricks that we did to scale up our production to what it is currently today. So let's get right into it. So right now we have about 30 printers, 25 we actually are running in production. And those take me maybe 15 minutes max to do everything from clearing the beds, cleaning them, and then replacing the rolls and everything. So let's head over to the print farm and I'll show you exactly what I do. So the first thing that I'm gonna be doing is just clearing all the beds. Like I said, we still have like 15 that need to be manually cleared every morning. Luckily, this doesn't take too long. We have a lot of systems in place so that the rest of the farm moves really smoothly. So that really helps just free up our time for doing other things and running the business. Because one thing that we, or at least I didn't really understand at the beginning of our whole company was how little time you actually spend printing and working on printers. I thought that was most of it, but to be completely honest, it's probably like 90% marketing and business. So freeing up our time using the systems, which I'll get into a little bit later exactly what we do, that really helps us free up the time to do the marketing, which is what actually grows the company and grows the business. Something that's a little different about our farm than a lot of other farms is our products are part of, full assemblies. And so there's motors and gears and PCBs that need added to everything. So a lot of normal farms, you're printing the actual end result. And so you just kind of need a fulfillment or a packing station. But for us, we have this whole assembly section over here, where our products will actually get assembled. Right now, we're just using, old filament boxes for our bins, or these, cheapo Dollar Tree bins. But they work for us, so that's just what we're using right now. Something really cool that we do is we actually have QR codes on all of our bins so that when you see something running low, one of the assembly workers or us, if we see it, we can come by, we just simply scan that with our phones and it will automatically get sent to our print farm to print next. But it makes it super simple for us because we basically never have to worry about stuff running out, as there's, 4 or 5 different eyes that see it before, it's actually going to run out. So that gives a lot of opportunity. That gives a lot of opportunity to us to never run out of parts. And so then our assembly workers can keep cranking out more products. So now I'm just putting the beds back on, and then I'll get into cleaning them and showing you exactly what we do for that. Because we mostly print out of ASA, the beds need to be pretty clean or else you get like warping issues and things like that. And so we just go through with a microfiber cloth and some alcohol and just spray them down and wipe them really quickly before every print. But one thing I wanted to mention is, as of like last week, we are still using 70% alcohol, which sounds fine, but every single morning I would have print problems or have some parts that wouldn't stick to the bed and I would have to just throw away. But we changed to 99% like last week, and I have literally not had a single bed that wasn't stuck. And sometimes they'll even stick too well, and when I go to pop them off, they like go flying everywhere. So if you're not already, I would really suggest do the 99%. We just do a quick spray, wipe it down, super easy. And then the next thing that I would normally do is see what we're low on filament up here. We use our own product. It's called the S1 Plus, if you haven't heard of it, but it's basically an automatic reloader. So you can fit 2 rolls on here at once, and once one runs out, the next one will get loaded in automatically. And that makes it easy on us because we don't have to, we have a lot of filament. Here, I'll show you. Down here is all of our filament. We have more back there. And then we even have some over here. all of these boxes. But with all the types of filament and everything that we do have, it makes it harder to stay organized with everything, especially if you're worrying about, you know, is my quarter roll going to finish a print? Is my half roll going to finish? So these just make it super easy on us. We don't have to worry about that. Every roll just runs completely out and then it will automatically switch. The printers don't pause in the middle. And it makes it easier on us when we, you know, go home for the night or for the weekend. We know that everything is still going to get printed. But like you can see, some of these have empty spools. So I'll just go ahead and swap those. One question about the S1s that we get asked is, why would you use that over an AMS? And right now for these printers, we are running 1 kilogram spools, so the AMS technically would work. But if you look down here at those printers, those ones are running 3 kilogram spools. And then we actually sometimes will run 5 kilograms. Here, I'll show you. We have some of these big boy 5 kilogram spools that will run, but the S1 Plus has the 1 kilogram, 3 kilogram, and 5 kilogram side, so that makes it really easy on us when we're switching all the time from different types of filaments, that we can just use the same system and we don't have to worry about only buying 1 kilograms, because the 3 kilograms make it easier to automate our printers and not have to worry about everything so often. Another thing is, on our printers specifically, we really only run 1 color per printer. So like this one's black ASA, this one over here is blue ASA. I think that one's also blue ASA. But we really only run one type of filament on each printer. So these systems, they're, you know, easy, they're basic, and they don't have a lot of complexity to them. So, you know, they're reliable for us, and that's just what we use. One thing to mention is, make sure you cut the ends off of your spools, the end that's like stuck into the roll when it ships. We've had so many prints fail because of this. This gets stuck in the extruder, it gets stuck in the nozzle, whatever. And it's just cut it off. It's so easy. And we do use Polymaker filament. For us, it's a little bit more expensive, but we can buy from the wholesale website, so that reduces the price. And when you buy in bulk like that, it makes it very affordable. But we've just found that the cheaper suppliers, they don't have the quality or consistency that Polymaker does, and it's just worked phenomenal on our printers. One thing I forgot to say earlier was that if you've seen us from the beginning, you'll know that we started from Kickstarter, and we were actually out of one of my friend's basements, and using a lot of the strategies to, you know, limit the time that we're in the print farm and we're able to put towards marketing and other things really helped us to move in the, you know, short time that we did, because we were only in the base. We started the company about a year ago. We were in the basement for 6 months, and then we've been here for 6 months, and it's just been such a blessing for all the growth that we've had, and a lot of that we attribute to, you know, the systems that we set up and the things that we use in order to make everything run so smoothly. So quickly, I wanted to come down here and show you guys our actual automated printers. So these ones just rip 24/7 all the time. Like I said, they have the 3 kilogram spools on them, so they don't need reloaded as much. But you can see we kind of have them all over the floor right now because they just fall out of the printer. Normally we have bins that they'll fall into, but those kind of move around the office sometimes, so they're not here right now, so I guess they'll stay on the floor. But yeah, these things, they rip all the time, and they just grab the next print that they need through the software that we use, which I'm going to get into here real quick. But yeah, they just grab the next one and they print it out, and then they keep ripping. So you'll probably notice I didn't start any of the printers when I cleared them, and that's because we actually use this to start the printers. It might not look very fancy or anything, but I'll show you exactly how we use this, and you can see we have sums around the farm. And I'll show you exactly how we use this to improve our workflow and how this thing has been a huge help for us. So like you saw, I didn't actually start any prints over there. And that was on purpose because I honestly have no idea what actually needs printed next. We don't really use a system or a schedule for that, which might sound counterproductive, but we tried that in the past and we just have so many people going in and out of the print farm, and we have so many different filament types and stuff like that, that it just got so complicated and it really didn't work. We use FlowQ. It's a software that we developed. It sort of acts as like a print farm automation manager. So it handles all of that for us and it knows exactly what needs printed next. So I'll come over here to this computer. You can see these are all of our printers on one central dashboard, and P1S1, ready, 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 ready. And you just click the button to mark all of the printers that we just cleared, and they'll all start. You can see they're pulling all their jobs in now. And so that just makes it super easy on us. I don't have to remember, you know, everything that's happening in assembly. People use the QR codes like I was saying earlier. It goes straight to this queue, and then FlowQ handles everything. It starts the print, it uploads it, and everything is handled right there. And once I finish that, that's pretty much it for my morning. Now, the rest of the day, I can do whatever I need to for marketing or the business side of things. Like I said, it takes maybe 15 minutes, and then everything is ripping and good to go. If you have any questions or want to learn more about any of the systems that I talked about that we use in this video, like FlowQ or the S1 Plus, I'll have links down below to our website so you can learn more about that. And then as always, drop a subscribe, and if you have any video recommendations for the future, drop them down below as well, and have a great day.